Hello everyone. Squad just released their version 7 preview and it's got a lot of big information in it. I haven't read it fully through yet, so you're going to get my first impressions and we'll take a look at what they're adding in V7. So first thing right here, of course, the vehicles. Looks like they're adding the Humvee, the two Logi trucks, the Technical and the BTR. And it's just going to be amazing to see how these vehicles change the meta. I mean, the added mobility, the pressure, and the danger that these vehicles are going to bring is going to change up the entirety of how infantry combat is being developed right now. And I think we're going to see an entirely different way of, maps being developed and being played out now that you have that vehicle to kind of traverse the map and add pressure. They added the vehicle sheet for, carrying capacity, supply capacity, and the respawn timers and ticket values. Really important information that I think every player should know. Just, how much that asset is worth, how many people can be transported. So, of course, it looks like you have the transport versions that can carry 13 people, and then you have the Logi versions that can carry supplies, but only a few personnel. So that's awesome to see. Fire support, you got your APCs, you got your Humvees. It's going to be really... it's nice to see that they have different paint jobs, too. It would have been really, really awkward to see, like, a tan-colored Humvee in the middle of Fool's Road. So I'm glad to see that there is some kind of camo scheme for maps. But, yeah, really excited to see. And Squad's going to get even more asymmetrical because, Insurgents are going to have Humvees, they're going to have Technicals, and then they're going up against BTRs that the Russians have. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see how dynamic games can get now that games are really asymmetrical. It looks like they go into details on the logistics system. So you come from the main with your Logi truck and you have like 1,000 materials, it looks like, and then you drop it off at the fob and then you go back and pick up more. This is the first iteration of logistics that we're seeing, so I'm sure it'll get fleshed out and, maybe even a little more complex further down the line. But for right now, this is pretty much just a basic pick up supplies, drop off supplies. Really cool to see that this is finally being implemented. I hope it gets fobs to be more relevant than what they are right now, simply because you can build them up faster. So hopefully this changes the fob dynamic. Looks like it also will affect spawning. So I think that Logi trucks will have an extra incentive to focus near the fobs rather than just driving around transporting, because without logistical support you have to wait 2.5 minutes before the spawn becomes active. That's just the initial, I think, the initial active. So if you bring a fob and a Logi truck together, I think you can spawn immediately. But yeah, very cool to see. Because they also, it looks like they also nerfed the passive rates, so the passive ammo and building points, it's been lowered to 1 per second. So you're really going to need that logistical truck to supply it. Moving on to claiming, this is how you claim a vehicle as a squad leader. So you need about 4, I think, or a 3-man squad, including the squad leader, for a 1 vehicle, and then 8-man squad you can claim 2. And then other team members can enter as passengers but not drivers. So it's really cool. It's to stop griefing, to stop people running off with your truck. So that's good to see that they're, implementing systems to prevent trolls. And it looks like they're preventing ourselves from grabbing every single vehicle, because you're locked to 2 and then you have an 8-minute cooldown as well. Very nice, very nice. Exceptions to this are when you drop off fobs, vehicles at fobs, this respect. Oh, so if you bring a vehicle to a fob or your main, you can swap the vehicle immediately rather than waiting for that 8-minute. That's pretty cool because you could, like, technically, as a logistics driver, you could be driving a Humvee that's, like, unmanned up to a fob, drop it off for them, and then catch a ride back with a Logi truck. So you could be supplying armor to the front line. That could be really cool and really fun to do. A really cool shot of a convoy right here, U.S. convoy. I can't wait to see these actually in game and attack these even. And then what's this? Oh, the new radio menu looks really clean. You have in-game map markers now if you want to use those as squad leaders. So like it kind of acts as pointing, where you look in a certain direction and you can hit the radio menu and it will place a marker right there so people know what you're looking at and the exact direction, and it's marked exactly on the map. So really nice to see that being added. Yeah, all sorts of them. All the map markers, it looks like, have their own radio menu. So it'll be interesting to see if squad leaders actually decide to use that. New weapons, the PPSH made it in, SKS made it in, the M110 made it in, so this is the US sniper. I used it a little, it's really fun to use. The G3 made it in, heat rockets, so basically AT weaponry, so the AT rockets and the AT grenades, and then the Dishka. So the Dishka is going to be a lot more fun to use rather than the 50 cal because it has like 360 degrees of turn, so you're only locked in on the front. But you can turn it. So really big addition to the weapons here. I don't think we've had any new weapons for a while. I don't think. So yeah, it's nice to see some new weapons for people to get their hands on and try out. So yeah, here you can see the in-game models, the PPSH, the G3s, I think, the SKS, and the M110. Yeah. Very nice, very nice to see this. Yeah, they're doing a great job of like adding plenty of content. They're being really, really active about it too. So it's really good to see. And then this is the anti-tank grenade. So you'll be able to hit armor with grenades too, not just AT. And then of course the new US soldier models, they look really freaking nice as opposed to the older ones that look like pajamas. These look really tactical. New map, EVGA. This is going to be a really interesting map simply because of how flat and open it is. There isn't really a map like this except for Kohat, but even Kohat has a lot of hills that obstruct vision. EVGA is pretty flat and you have a lot of visibility around you, except for like sparing a few trees. You can see pretty far distances. So I think vehicle gameplay and the wrecks and all that good stuff is going to be a great time to add EVGA just because you're going to be able to traverse these long open areas with vehicles or use vehicles as mobile cover. It's going to be really good. So they added Gorodok Dusk, which is really nice. I think it looks beautiful. Korra Night, which I had the pleasure of playing, and I put a video up there today as well. So it's a really nice to see these darker maps coming because I feel like just simply changing the time of day really adds a cool dynamic to the gameplay, and it gives it a whole new fresh feel. And it looks like the Unreal Engine got updated to 4.12. So this is, as they say right here, it's allowing them to get closer to having bug fixes and optimization for the next patch. So really cool to see that, and a couple modding updates. We see a cool islandish map here, and then a really, really urban map here. Awesome. So on release day, they'll be releasing more patch notes and a full change log. So I'll definitely be on that immediately. But going over this, you know, pretty much everything they said in the July recap, or the June recap is being implemented. It's really nice to see that they're adding all the information right here before launch so that players can get their hands on it and, you know, have an understanding of how certain systems work on day one. So I'm extremely excited, not only for pub matches, but also for squad ops. Seeing squad ops, vehicle ops is going to be really fun, and it's going to add a whole new dynamic. And hopefully I'll see you out there and maybe run you over. But thanks, guys, and I'll see you next time.